Welcome back to your favorite part of Monday and my favorite part of harvest, which is grape season. Grape season in this part of Ohio arrives sometime late September through the month of October, and it lasts for a couple weeks. And our family drives about 2 hours north of here to harvest grapes at this great big vineyard. We normally make it a big family affair and meet some cousins, hopefully. We have picked grapes in rain and cold, but normally the weather cooperates and we have a great time together. This year, Grammy took a handful of cousins and together they worked at harvesting over 300 pounds of grapes. We ordered just about 100 pounds of grapes, and from it we were able to can 46 quarts of grape juice concentrate, all without using a pressure canner. If this sounds interesting to you, stay tuned and I'll show you how. So after you have your grapes harvested, it's really important to set up your processing area. It helps everything run really smoothly. I put our canning lids into a crock pot to get them warm. I set my canning rings nearby in a box, and then I take the canning jars and scrub them really well so everything's very clean, and I stick them into a hot oven. I just turn it the lowest setting that I have, and that keeps them warm. Everything needs to be clean and hot. After everything is set up, I'm gonna get our juicer ready to go. We use a Victorio steam juicer. There are many other brands that work really well, and I'm gonna go ahead and link our tools in the description below. So the juicer has 3 compartments. The bottom is the water reservoir, and it's really important to fill that up every time you put grapes in the juicer because that's where the steam comes from. If it runs out, it's really bad. So the middle part is what is going to collect the grape juice. So obviously when you're putting it together first time, it's going to be empty. The top part is where the grapes go. This is my favorite part, is because you don't need to do anything to the grapes. You just put them in. You don't have to wash them, you don't have to sort them or take them off the stems. You just cram them in the top part and put the lid on. The reason is because, first of all, this is a really hot process. It's gonna clean the grapes. Anything nasty that's on them, it's gonna get cleaned off. Secondly, that you might think, oh, I could get a lot more grapes on if I take them off the stem. But the stems actually hold them apart so that the steam can go around the grapes and you get a lot more juice. After the juicer has been on the stove for 20 to 30 minutes, you can start taking off the juice concentrate. So this is the trickiest part. Having the right tools helps. I have a magnetic lid lifter that I can use to get the lids out of the crock pot. I have jar tongs that I use to take the hot jars out of the oven. And then I put a tray on a small table, and that just really helps with cleanup and keeping things clean as I go. So I'll take a hot jar out of the oven and go ahead and fill all the way up to the neck of the jar. This is different from when you pressure can. You need to leave headspace for pressure, but when you're hot packing like this, you just fill it right up to the neck of the jar. Now then you take a hot lid from the crock pot and you just set that on a clean rim and tighten down the ring as tight as you can. As the juice cools, it seals the lid, and voila, you have your canned grape juice concentrate without using a pressure canner. Later, after it's completely cool, maybe the next day, I always go back and check and see if it's sealed before I take the ring off, and I store it in our cellar. To serve, then you're just gonna open your jar of concentrate and add the same amount of water and sugar to taste. So while I was processing these grapes, I was thinking to myself, man, there's a lot of tips and tricks I've learned over the years, and I also realized that I haven't come up with them on my own. I learned them in the most ideal way possible from my mom. She's the most practical person I know, honestly. And so I want to give a shout out to her and just say thank you for the time that she took to teach this to me. And I'm hoping that you find some benefit from them too. If you want to see more videos on growing or preserving food, let us know in the comments. What would be helpful? What kind of information are you looking for? We are hoping to be adding some classes in person and online in the future, so we'd like to hear what would be most helpful for you guys. So these are all ideas we're kicking around to serve you better and to grow this community. We're really grateful for those of you who encouraged us to make this grape juice video, and you know who you are. We really enjoyed having you come along and see our favorite part of harvest season.